first, the life force of the victim has got to be drunk. Then, after the victim has been in your bed for a number of days or weeks or months, then she must be told that she's going to die. And she must be encouraged to try to escape. And she must be made to run. Run in a direction where you know there are people who will recapture her. When she is recaptured, she will have a particular smell on her, which is like that of an animal. You know, Mr. David, this may shock you as a white person, but I want to tell you these facts. Human sacrifice is much more than just cutting the throat of a victim. A long procedure is followed before you drink the energy of this young person. A virgin girl radiates a severe heat, which is sometimes used by my people to save the life of a man or a woman who has been caught on a cold mountainside. You know, in Zululand, snow sometimes falls on the Ulundi mountains and other mountains, and sometimes you find that a man of importance has been caught in the terrible cold, and he is close to freezing to death. And the quickest way to save this man is to place him and a virgin girl on the same bed. The heat of the girl and the life force of the girl will actually bring this man back to life. Now, in human sacrifice, all over Africa and all over Europe, I know the life force of the victim-to-be is first absorbed in various ways. And one way, of absorbing the life force of a human, a girl, is to frighten her very much, and then to take her intimate garment, such as her loincloth or painting, and to smell it. Through that, you absorb some of the life force of the girl. And then she must be frightened until great fear builds up inside her. She must be made to know that she is going to die. And under very ritual conditions, the person is killed. But she is killed slowly. And her screaming is forbidden. She mustn't scream. A tight piece of wax is often jammed into between the victim's jaws, a piece which she cannot swallow, and then she is killed. But wait, there is more, much more to this bizarre thing. The victim must bless you with her eyes as she dies. Sometimes the victim must be made to talk before she dies, which is why I was so horrified when I learned from various newspapers that after her terrible accident, Princess Diana had talked. That is how a human sacrifice victim is expected to do, she must talk. There is some kind of power that she releases by talking, which again benefits those whose victim she is.
I'm convinced that she was ritually sacrificed.
Yes, and here is another thing, sir. When the victim, the more beautiful a victim is, the more you are supposed to stare at her, all of you. And when the victim dies, when she struggles in her last pain, all of you involved there, no matter how old you may be, ejaculate. Males or females, ejaculate. You must. Otherwise the magic will not work.
So this is why you get, one of the reasons you get sexual activity so much involved in some of these rituals.
Aha, yes. It is because as the victim dies, you feel such a great pity for her, such a love. She's a beautiful vessel being broken. And you feel the forces of rejuvenation coursing through your veins. You know, sir, this could be the reason why people who indulge in this form of ritual actually live for so long. But what is horrible is that the victim does not have to die in order to help her captor to extend his earthly life. Simply by lying in bed with the victim unmolested, month after month, actually rejuvenates the person in power. What I'm saying to you, sir, is something that was practiced all over Africa by some of our greatest kings. The captive girls were not killed. And I wish to point out another thing, sir. May I?
Uh-huh.
The people of Israel practiced this strange custom. And King Constantine the Great, the Roman emperor, who lived for well over 80 years, used to practice this custom of sleeping side by side with young virgins whom he did not, however, mate with.
He was one of the creators of Christianity, right?
Uh-huh. Now, let me tell you, sir, there is a name for this thing. In fact, the name is also in the Bible. It is called Shulamitism. In the Song of Songs of Solomon, the male singer repeatedly refers to the woman as his Shulamit. And a Shulamit is a woman who is brought especially to rejuvenate a dying person of importance. Quote the Bible. And a woman was brought unto him, and she lay with him, but he get no heed. Sometimes, for a parent, a mother or a father, to sacrifice his own child is an act of self-rejuvenation.